Γιατί δεν ακούμε κάτι? Οχ, δεν βλέπω τον τηλέφωνο. Hello?
En la mesa 2 no se escucha el audio. Hello,
Hello?
Aggeliki. Yes, I am here.
Perfect. Uh, Let me open my video. Yes, I'm
Yes,
here too.
okay. I couldn't hear from the audio from the
Can you
room.
hear me now?
Yes, I can hear you now.
Okay, perfect.
Wait a minute. I think it's from the room. We don't. Do you hear from the room?
No, I don't hear from the room. I only hear from you.
Okay, great. Maybe they're going to do something there.
Okay, do you want me to share my screen?
Yeah, yes. When no now. Let
No,
the
no, okay,
Evaluación,
okay.
the person in charge. He's going to let you know when you start.
Okay, perfect.
Yeah.
Our
Okay, great.
Can you hear me well? No, todavía no estoy, porque si no, estaría Hello? Can
Hello,
you,
Yes,
can you,
Alba. Yeah,
yes.
we can hear you.
Okay, good. Yes, I hear you well.
Okay, great.
Again, good afternoon to everyone. I welcome. Our first speaker is Dr. Lucy Morse Roberts. She is the CEO of the nonprofit Hui International. An educator by training, Lucy creates programs and projects that educate, honor, nurture, and empower. Her focus is women and children, especially immigrants and refugees. Her work has been utilized internationally and recognized nationally. Thank you, Professor Morse Roberts. The microphone is all yours.
Thank you very much. I first want to say what a great honor it is to be here and to be able to present my work or the work of my team. And I want to say to be here in person and to have such a warm welcome and that everybody is supportive. So gracias por su apoyo. And the tour of the campus yesterday was beautiful. This is an amazing, very prestigious school, and I'm honored to be here. So I am the CEO of Hui International. We are an organization that provides programming to agencies throughout the state of California. We are working in Orlando, Florida now, and we've had programs in Kabul, Afghanistan. Our programs are in Spanish, English,
so important.
Yes.
Ahí está entrando.
So I think it's fantastic when
Sí,
that
sí,
you are
aquí con eso es
mentioning about,
suficiente.
you know, as a company.
Yeah, right?
Yeah.
Yeah,
Ahorita
okay.
te-
So we're on the same page there, and hopefully we will all collectively work in that direction.
Yeah.
And understand what that means. And so what we do, one of the things that we do with our program that I'm about to talk about is want to heal the world, right? Do we want to empower people? Then let's really heal the world and let's really empower people and let's give people the resources to do that. And not just, create projects, which is what this is. So
Yeah.
Lo que dijo quedó grabado o no.
want to heal the world.
Sí, ya puede empezar otra vez.
So I can start again.
Yeah.
Okay, well,
It's just that she needs the PPT, that you needs the presentation. The presentation we are waiting for. Can you help us? Perdón. La presentación ella no puede avanzar porque no tiene la presentación.
okay, so I will say then, because the next one doesn't necessarily need a slide, but after we did our project on the Ulysses syndrome and ways to heal with the 5 protective factors, we wrote an article together with 3 other colleagues. And in the article, we have this poem by Solmaz Sharif. And it says, I have long loved what one can carry. I've long left all that can be left. Behind in the burning cities and lost, even lost, not cared much or learned to. I turned and looked, and not even salt did I become. I am, even inside the kingdom, without. And this is by a poet who I think resides now in California, originally from Turkey, then went to Iran. And that's, in so many cases, they left behind, right? And where they are now. And sometimes when we talk about stressors, the stressor of demonization as an immigrant in these communities. And so this is a shared experience that we want to talk to this experience, and this person does that exactly. But what our programs do is they give hope, universal. And I'm used to kind of going into places, literally going into places and having people say, I'm not interested in that. They say, but you're required to do it because of the state of California funding requires you to do it, so you have to. And so they say, oh, great. I had one person say, this is going to be a burden. I said, convince people, because on this program I'm about to talk about, we worked with 7 agencies throughout the state. 7 agencies throughout the state of California. And every time I walked in, they were doors. That's why we also wrote this.
Están diciendo que el proyecto que están dando saliendo y que no está oyendo sería la prevención. Entonces, solamente para que tengan, cuando revisen, porque es muy importante. They say that persons are really interested and they are really getting in and getting out, and they really want to listen to it, so we can get.
Okay. But is it best? Should I wait a moment then?
No.
Congress gathered together for a shared purpose. Mohala. Mohala means blossoming. We named our curricula blossoming, or Mohala, because Mohala is what our youth are doing. It's what we want our families to do. But Mohala is also that period in a person's life when they are transforming from a child to an adult. This is a curriculum that focuses on California's unaccompanied undocumented minors, and many of them are in that transition period. So we're writing directly to that. California, I want to get my statistics correct, has 2 million unaccompanied undocumented immigrants, 25% of the United States undocumented population, 6% of the state's total population, and 10% of our state's workforce. In 2022, 12,000 children came across the border without parents. Into California, I should say. The way our system works in the United States is they are then in a office. Sorry, I'm blanking, refugee resettlement. Yeah. So Office of Refugee Resettlement. And then if they can find somebody who knows them, a brother, a sister, a family friend, they can move into that household. And so that is what has happened. So 12,000 then came into the system. And what we noticed is these families, next slide, please. These families were not supported after that. So can you imagine receiving a teenager into your household, with no extra support? And so that led to a lot of conflict. Now we have worked, and I've worked with the state of California, providing child abuse prevention material. The outcome of the materials that we have received, we realize actually empower the parents who take it. So it is a program that lifts up. So here's some stats for the unaccompanied children released to sponsors in the state of California. And you notice, well, it's hidden, but we have quite a few, 12,000 in 2022. Next slide, please. So the children then work through the legal system. And they work through the legal system with support of those sponsors and caregivers and different agencies. So what we do is we work with these agencies to provide this curriculum to support these sponsors and caregivers. Right, next slide. To give just a little framework. So you have Bronfenbrenner's socio-ecological theory of child development. Obviously the child, and then there's a microsystem around the child. I like the word Trushka doll, that one is protecting the other. So a system, we have a series of systems that influence the outcome for that child. Our work focuses on that first family system. Next slide, please. Next slide. Oh boy. Okay, so this is strengthening families' 5 protective factors. They are parental resilience, social connections, social and emotional competence of children, which equates to adults too, concrete support in times of need, and knowledge of parenting and child development. So we were commissioned by the state of California to take an existing curriculum and that builds these 5 protective factors and make it for a very specific population. Next slide, please. So I want to introduce this. I have named it. I don't know if Dr. Canizales has named it, but I call it the Canizales Concept Framework for Understanding Factors Impacting Unaccompanied Undocumented Minors. So Dr. Canizales was an advisor on this larger project, and she has done research. She's now on faculty at UC Berkeley, and she has done research on unaccompanied undocumented minors in Southern California. Now, what she realized is, this is using their own vocabulary, their own ideas, is that there is a disorientation, orientation phase, an adaptation phase, and a perdition phase. So our work focuses on orientation, and what Dr. Canizales has realized in her work is that orientation phase, a family setting of support, is crucial because that helps them safely transition into the environment that they are in. So some of you may or may not know, the New York Times in February had an article about the atrocious conditions for some of the unaccompanied undocumented youth in the United States. And these youth were being exploited. And so our federal government, that article came out on Thursday, our federal government on a Monday commissioned a report to be made. Dr. Canizales worked on that report. I don't know if the findings will ever be made published, but I do know that what they discovered is that a program that supports the families is essential. All right, next slide, please. So this is what we have. We have a curriculum, and if you wanted to look at our curriculum, it is right here. The parents, sponsors, and caregivers have it. We have a training guide, which is right here. This is in English. We can translate it into Spanish. Our curriculum is in Spanish and English. And what we are working with a group called MECOP in Southern California on having it translated into Indigenous languages because they work mainly with Indigenous people. Next slide, please. So caregivers meet once a week for 10 weeks to learn about adolescent development, relationships, and gain skills to resolve conflict and build resilience. So this is what happened, the story with this project. The state had this idea that I thought was pretty remarkable. They said, nobody else in the country is going to do it. We're going to invest resources in supporting the families that support these kids. Commissioned us, we wrote it, then we went and partnered with agencies. And the agencies were like, I don't think so. And I was like, you have to. So we worked with them for 2 years on this project. And now they're like, we have to have it. This is something that is transformative. And the stories that come from these families, they will work 12, 14 hours, drive 1 hour just to make it to this program. So we have some testimonials online. I think the next slide, please. These are some testimonials. We have testimonials in Spanish and English if you're interested in reading them. What this program does is all of us, every adult is yesterday's child. And every adult carries with them a trauma, a history, and wounds. And what we forget is the one thing that is consistent throughout our entire lives is the need for love, right? We need it. We invest so much in programming for children, which is great. Children need it too, but so do adults. And this is a program based on the Hawaiian philosophy of aloha, which means hello, goodbye, and it means a joyful sharing of life together. And so that is what we bring to it. We bring that in with our relationships with the organizations because they too need to be uplifted because quite often these organizations are not receiving the financial support that they need to carry the programming to the level that they can carry it. And then they bring it to others. So there is a quote somewhere that I do want to share. Let me see if I can find it really quickly. Also, this book by Dr. Canizales is not in Spanish, but you can contact her and ask her help to make that happen. But I do want to real quickly say, in using the Hawaiian philosophy, Hawaii indeed has a message to send to the world, and I think the practice of aloha can exist throughout the world if people understand themselves and the effect that they have on everyone around them. Aloha is there in everyone. You just need to tap into yours. That's by Clifford Doali. And I want to thank everybody for the work that you did to bring that spirit of aloha to those who need it. It's tough work sometimes because not everybody believes in it, but I thank you. And one last ask, Alba, is that we're starting to work on technology and health. And if anybody wants to collaborate with us on that kind of work, come see me afterwards. Thank you.
Great. I want
She has something to say to you.
Pues
muy interesante el
Very
trabajo.
interesting work.
Felicitaciones y a nosotros como pueblos indígenas
And
nos
us
dan
as
luces
indigenous
para
people
poder hacer
give us
este tipo
light
de estudios
to give this
y
type of
también
studies
poder ayudar
and to be
a
able to
nivel
help
de la comunidad,
our
porque también
communities.
hay migración a
Because
nivel
we have
interno por el conflicto
internal
armado.
migration
Entonces uno
because
no
of
haya
violence in my country,
qué programas
but we don't
hacer
know how.
y
So you're
este
giving us
tipo de
light.
programas muy interesantes. Gracias.
Thank you so much. Gracias. Brevemente, el caso de los niños que cruzan solos y cómo es uno de los proyectos de mis clases que los estudiantes se ingenian estrategias de cómo ayudar a esos niños. Y en la Universidad de San Francisco se instaló el programa para que profesores de la Escuela de Educación facilitaran cursos para estos niños de alfabetización. El decano de la Facultad de Leyes puso a sus estudiantes haciendo su doctorado ya para hacerse abogados como defensores de esos niños. Y claro, la Escuela de Salud se aseguró con el Mission Neighborhood Health Center de San Francisco, a propósito, se diera salud mental, terapias, incluso vacunación. O sea que hay tanto, tanto por hacer. Muchas gracias por tu trabajo. La siguiente presentadora, yo quiero hacer justicia a la enorme contribución que ella ha hecho. Así que yo le voy a dar la palabra a la doctora Aggeliki Pappa para que por favor se presente. Could you please introduce yourself? I want to do some justice to the amazing work that you have been doing. Thank you, doctor.
Hello, buenos días, querido México y una universidad. Buenos días a queridos colegas de todo el mundo desde Atenas. I tried as much as I could to speak a little bit in Spanish. I'm so honored and grateful and humbled to connect with you from Athens, Greece. And I Love Dyslexia EFL School. My name is Aggeliki Pappa. I'm the founder and CEO of I Love Dyslexia EFL School, first global school in the world for teaching English as a foreign and second language to students with dyslexia, and president of 3 Dyslexia Cosmos, non-for-profit organization fighting for inclusion and innovation in global pedagogy. Is it time now for me to share my screen?
It is, but you have so much to say. I mean,
would you like me to introduce more about myself?
My God, you
Thank you.
Morse anyway, go ahead, doctor.
Okay, I could present myself through my PowerPoint if this is possible.
Okay. I'll summarize at the end some of the great achievements you have received. Thank you.
Thank you. Okay, great. Fantastic. So here we are again. So as I told you, we are connected from Athens, Greece, and I Love Dyslexia EFL School. And let me share with you, yes, thank you. Let me share with you a little bit of our story. I Love Dyslexia is the first school globally for teaching English as a foreign language to students with dyslexia. It's a beautiful space, as you can see. It has been built through brain-targeted teaching by Marielle Hardiman. We have used the brain research of Marielle Hardiman to create a beautiful space. And we have created architecture as a tool for our pedagogy, as a tool for creativity, for motivation, for inspiration, for flow energy. The energy can flow in I Love Dyslexia so as our students can be more creative, can be happier, joyful, and relaxed. And in a meditative state, so they can really open up their brain and their heart to receive the unique kind of knowledge that we have there to give them. I Love Dyslexia is in the top 10 schools in the whole world for innovation by the World 10 Top Schools Prizes. So we are very humbled to share this beautiful story because we're only a small school with 100 students and 10 teachers. So imagine if a small school, but beautiful school, and highly specialized for teaching English as a foreign language to students with dyslexia managed to get into the top in the world schools. Something really magic is happening there. And the magic is happening because of the power of our heart and the power of the magical brain of dyslexia that actually led us to a wonderful journey. I gave 8 years of my life to create this first method, comprehensive program, 3 dyslexia program for teaching English as a foreign language to students with dyslexia. It is not a coincidence that I dedicated my whole life. I am dyslexic myself, and it was very difficult for me to find myself in the Greek schools. I was actually having hard time to communicate my work and my pedagogy, my innovation in the Greek environment because it was a little bit different. It was changing the system. And also, unfortunately, I had 2 students, Sterios and Nicolas, that they gave me very hard lessons in this lifetime. I will share their stories with them later on. And they actually made me dedicate my life in order to be able to get out of marginalization millions of charismatic students with dyslexia who unfortunately, even in 2024, are marginalized in the global educational systems. This wonderful journey and the results of 15 years old results of our school has led us to find myself 2 times in the 50 top educators in the world for the $1 million Global Teacher Prize, the Nobel Prize for Teachers, with the flag of Greece. And in 2018, I was very humbled to receive the trust of His Royal Highness King Charles in Stavrouniarchos Foundation in Athens, Greece, because I was announced winner of Europe by the British Council UK for the UK Alumni Awards for my innovations in I Love Dyslexia School and 3 Dyslexia Cosmos non-for-profit organization. And I was officially recognized by the British Council as the first program and the first school in the world for teaching English as a foreign language and second language to children with dyslexia. And in 2018 also, our program was featured in the OECD report, the official OECD report. This is the only comprehensive program in the history of pedagogy in the OECD reports that is promoted and presented. We recently actually presented this huge recognition from the OECD in the European Dyslexia Association conference through our poster. But you can find everything if you click in the Google search, Teaching for the Future 2018 OECD report. You will be able to find all of our work and program in chapter 1, pages 20 to 21. So this is a few of our achievements, but these achievements have actually started because we really wanted to find out what is dyslexia. Even in 2009, when we established the school, and we were against, even from 2009, against the wrong definition of dyslexia, which sometimes is still used, that it is a developmental and learning disorder or disability. So unfortunately, due to lack of scientific support, a lot of researchers, even nowadays, give this wrong definition about dyslexia. And because 1 to 5 children has dyslexia, so we're talking about millions of children and students and people, more than 700 million people globally have dyslexia. It is a huge misconception to even nowadays carry out the false misconception of the past that dyslexia is a disorder. Dyslexia is not a disorder. The correct new definition of dyslexia are found in the latest research by Dr. Marianne Wolf, who is actually my greatest mentor, an incredible cognitive neuropsychologist, neuroscientist in Tufts and UCLA. You can also check in Cambridge University, the latest research by Taylor, and Dr. Protopopoulos, a Greek university professor, he's now in Norway, Oslo University, that they say that dyslexia is not a disorder, it's a differently organized brain that happens to be strong in global big picture thinking, leading to certain impressive thinking advantages over typical brains, while facing challenging in reading and writing, ending up to poor school performance that often leads to secondary mental and social emotional problems. And this is why we're here. We're going to talk about the mental problems that dyslexia brings to the students in schools, because they are marginalized and they face social and academic exclusion all of their life, although they're brilliant or although they're smart. And also we're here to connect dyslexia with migration. Why? Because a lot of students, unfortunately, let's continue, a lot of students need to actually change schools and change countries to find themselves in the correct context in order to be able to thrive academically and holistically as personalities. But let's first check some important statistics about dyslexia. So about 780 million people with dyslexia globally right now face exclusion in mainstream English as a foreign language contexts. That means that we waste important human capital, students and children and human beings, that they cannot speak the global language, so they cannot contribute on a global level. And this is a huge problem that we need to collaborate with governments, OECD, British Dyslexia Association, European Dyslexia Association, universities, everyone to solve, because we need to get out of marginalization brilliant minds that we have proved in I Love Dyslexia that they can learn if we change the way we teach in the classrooms. About 35% of them drop out of schools. Almost 60% of dyslexic children meet the criteria for at least one mental disorder and are 40% more prone to depression than typical readers. 14 to 19% of the students who are poor readers have also a history of either suicidal thoughts or attempts of suicide, compared to 5% of students who are and were typical readers. So these are very important statistics that make us understand that dyslexia is not only a reading difference, but it can lead to mental disorders that can even lead to suicide. Students with learning differences, with these learning differences. Now, some more dyslexia statistics, from school dropout and mental illness to delinquency and arrest and incarceration. About 48% of people in prisons are dyslexic, and they cost $500 billion per year in the United States government, only in the US. So you understand that instead of putting and investing more money in for inclusive pedagogy in schools, we give the money in prisons to feed 48% of people with dyslexia, it's the percentage of people with dyslexia in prisons. And this is an absolute tragedy not only for their lives, but the whole society. And this is a very important issue, and that's why we address and we became advocates of dyslexia as much as possible, because we need global collaboration from governments, as I mentioned before, from universities and all organizations and experts globally to be able to move ahead in this huge challenge for these millions of charismatic people. So we're talking about the dyslexia odyssey, a long way from home, the stories of Nicholas and Sterios that I'm going to share with you. Two stories of my students with dyslexia. Nicholas was the first student with dyslexia who changed my life, because unfortunately he committed a suicide. He left our life when he was 24 years old. And for me, it was a turning point in my life. I realized that this is not just a problem for reading and writing. It's a problem that actually gets into the core of the mental health and the well-being of these students and these kids. And we, as educators in the school system, we need to address holistically the challenge of dyslexia and find ways to empower these kids, not only for reading and writing and the skills that they need to academically thrive, but also their mental health, their emotional well-being, their heart-mind coherence, in order to be able to thrive holistically as human beings. So millions of children with dyslexia, like modern Ulysses, are forced to live life as migrants, moving from school to school and from country to country. My second student with dyslexia that came to my life 30 years ago, because I have been teaching for 30 years, Sterios, he actually dropped school after he was expelled from 10 schools in Athens, Greece. He moved to United States of America to be able to find another school with his family, to finish high school because he couldn't graduate from the Greek schools. And now he lives in Mexico City after so many years. But before he moved to Mexico City, he's actually watching right now, and later on he will be able to join you in Universidad. It's incredible to know that we have been connected for more than 20 years with Sterios, and he's still in my life, fighting together for inclusion and the human rights for millions of charismatic students with dyslexia. He's there now, but before he moved to, actually, while he was there in Mexico, he came with me in Argentina, in Tucumán, to share our story on stage, because a wonderful Minister of Education, who was actually Minister of Education of Tucumán, Argentina, Dr. Juan Pablo Lichmacher, an incredible human being who is actually working towards towards inclusion, towards sustainability, and to actually empower not only students with dyslexia, but every child on earth, internationally and in Latin America. He invited us in the Congress that he organized, in the International Congress that he organized in Argentina. So me and Sterios, we found ourselves in Argentina in front of 50,000 teachers who participated in Tucumán, Argentina Congress. And I would like to share with you a short video. It's actually like a short documentary of what it really means to be dyslexia, to be a dyslexic, student, what it means to become a migrant, to have to change country in order to be able to find a school to address you, and what it means to carry the emotional challenge of being dyslexic all of your life. So let's all watch together the video of Sterios in Argentina. Here it's me and Dr. Juan Pablo Lichmacher in Argentina, in Tucumán, sharing my method, 3D Dyslexia method, with thousands of students there, and thousands of teachers, and we are empowering more than 500,000 students in Argentina, in Tucumán, hopefully soon in the whole Argentina.
Hi everyone, this is Sterios. For those who do not know me, I was one of the speakers at the Third Congress of Education. It's been about 6 months since I was with you in Argentina, and wanted to make a quick video to thank you for being there and for all the sweet messages you sent me and comments you left me. It was a great experience for me that I will always carry with me. For those who couldn't make it, here are a few things about me and a few key points from my talk. I was born in Athens, Greece, and changed more than 10 schools and eventually gave up school at the age of 17 without graduating. I had dyslexia and ADHD, but no one knew at the moment. So everyone was frustrated. My teachers thought I did not care, and my parents that I was lazy. And I couldn't understand why everything had to be so hard. Staying in focus was difficult. Being on time was difficult. Reading and learning in class was equally difficult. And making friends was difficult too. After leaving school, I found ways that suit my learning style better. And I taught myself a number of things, including English. Since it was difficult to find a job without a degree or school diploma, I started a number of businesses throughout the years. And although I failed in most of them, I learned a number of skills. And now I work as a business consultant, helping companies create strategic partnerships and build new products. Sometimes people are impressed that back in 2017, I got a 1-year contract to work at Google and for keeping them as a client. But to tell you the truth, it was just luck. Luck in the sense of preparation meets opportunity. I was in the right place, the right moment, and had all the experience needed. This short assignment gave me credibility and validated my experience. But it shouldn't be like that, because what if I wasn't that lucky to get this opportunity? Would I deserve less? No, absolutely not. I would have been exactly the same person. But what can we do about it? What I will usually encourage teachers and professionals to do is to not assess people purely based on their formal qualifications. I know it's the easy thing to do and qualifications do matter, but what about the ones who do not fit the mold and are out of the norm? It's not always their choice to be the outsiders, and they are the ones who need our attention the most. So next time you have a troublemaker in class, think twice before you expel them. You might be contributing to their problems rather than helping them integrate with their class. And when you retire, you may be more proud for the ones who helped to overcome their challenges and become great members of our society. And who knows, maybe one day you get to see them on stage, like my teacher, Aggeliki Pappa, who was one of the teachers who made it her goal to not only be a good teacher, but also see her students succeed. Not only the ones who are easy to be taught, but all of her students, despite their strengths and abilities. I hope you enjoyed this brief message, and once again, thank you for attending my talk. Thank the organizers for putting together such a nice event, and Gonzalo Diaz who invited me to record this message. I will link his page on the description below. If you're not following me on social media and watching this video on WhatsApp or another platform, I'm currently in Mexico City. I'm planning to stay here for a few months, so we're not that far away, and I would really love to come back to Argentina and give more talks, but also work with teachers and students through workshops. Maybe together we can create some learning experiences that can help you and your class be the best possible. So if there are any conferences in Argentina or Latin America that I should know about, let me know or share my details with the organizers. And if you're visiting Mexico City, send me a message. I'll see you later. Hasta luego. This is amazing. I'm in Argentina. Okay, let's get ready.
So that was Stergios. It's so emotional to watch this video because it's the story of our heart, is our truth, is a 30-year-old journey empowering, first of all, our souls, and secondly, as many students and teachers and parents and colleagues globally to collaborate and together empower as many beautiful souls with this brilliant mind of dyslexia together. And how do we do this in I Love Dyslexia School? How do we manage to actually teach with excellence? For 15 years, all of our students, although they come to our school without even knowing the English alphabet, after a few months and a few years, they receive their official certification on proficiency level with excellence. We managed to do this, first of all, by teaching them about the brain. We help them understand how differently the different brain of dyslexia works, and how typical brain works, and how they can actually enhance the learning by stimulating the whole brain, right and left hemisphere, through different learning styles and different learning techniques. So they become little scientists, and they become the teachers of themselves. So we teach them about their brain, and we teach them how to learn. And here you can see our students with their heart and the brains, and we teach them how to create heart-mind coherence through meditation, through controlled breathing, and of course by understanding how to use different learning multisensory techniques in order to be able to retain information about anything they want to learn and thrive academically. The second step is to empower them emotionally. So here you see a project of ours. What if dyslexia ruled the world? And you can see what if women rule the world behind, because we connected this project with EMST, Modern Museum of Art in Athens, Greece, that now celebrates women the last few months. So we have important personalities, women personalities, that they have dyslexia, like Erna Solberg, the former Prime Minister of Norway, who is actually dyslexic, and she was fighting for sustainability and empowering women throughout the years of her presidency. And Princess Beatrice, who gives us her quote, "For me, school was a nightmare." Melly Monroe, Salma Hayek, Keira Knightley, a Nobel grader, Dr. Grader, she won a Nobel Prize recently in chemistry. So you see that Oprah Winfrey, Cher, amazing artists, amazing presidents, amazing women from different contexts. They have dyslexia, and of course, so many men: Pablo Picasso, Dali, Richard Branson, Bill Gates, Steve Jobs, Tom Ford. They all have dyslexia, even Kennedy, the President Kennedy. So they had dyslexia. So brilliant mind, Leonardo da Vinci, we are convinced that he was dyslexic. Brilliant mind, Beethoven, Mozart, Disney, Agatha Christie, all these important personalities were and are dyslexic. So dyslexia is not only is not a problem, it's a solution for humanity. We need to follow these brains, and we need to upgrade our pedagogy into inclusive systems that not only support students with dyslexia, but empower every student in the classrooms. And now we have also created cognitive neurotechnology. We use AI and cognitive neurotechnology, science, to be able to collaborate with Harvard University and Microsoft Education USA in order to be able to digitalize my method, scale it up, and spread it globally to make sure that every child will thrive in English, and not only in English language, but in every lesson in school. And thank God, this method is not only for students with dyslexia and special needs, it's an inclusive method that can empower typical learners too. And also not only about English, but the whole brain. Students become more creative, more imaginative. They develop analytical and critical thinking, synthetic thinking, different styles of learning. So in other words, we boost their brain while we're teaching them English, and we boost their creativity and imagination, which are key aspects for the 21st century. We also use art, and we have created our own plays, drama plays, under the auspices of UNESCO, under the auspices of the Greek Ministry of Education and Culture and Civilization. And now, before I leave you, so we use technology, science, and art through our method, our 3D Lexia method, which is actually a Pythagorean algorithm. Pythagoras said everything starts with number 3. So we use science, technology, and art. We use heart-mind coherence, cosmic and the consciousness of the mind connected with the cosmic energy. So we teach the students that not only we are human beings, but we are energy. We understand our nature on a quantum level. We understand human mind. We understand consciousness. We expand all this knowledge and deep learning and wisdom through science, technology, and art projects. And I would like, before I leave, to share with you a short 2-minute video, which is called Ulysses' Journey from Dyslexia to Ithaca. It's about Odysseus, the Homer hero, who had to actually move an incredible journey to move through the Greek islands, different islands, the mythological islands, in order to reach Ithaca. And in our play, our Homer, our Ulysses, he also had to visit the island of dyslexia. And with his smart and genius mind, he had to solve the challenges of dyslexia in order to be able to reach his Ithaca, his dream, his eudaimonia, to reach eudaimonia, the Aristotelian eudaimonia. So let's all watch the video. Ulysses' journey. And actually, it's a video that we also shared in a beautiful project under the auspices of UNESCO in Athens, Greece, with my students, where we empowered migrants and refugees who came from Syria to Athens, Greece. And we actually empowered them by teaching them some English to be able to communicate their needs in our country, Greece, and also to communicate the situation that they lived and the mental issues, of course, they had to release through by being able to communicate through a global language, English global language. So we empowered English global language to refugees in Athens, Greece, together with my students by visiting refugee camps. And it was an incredible opportunity for us to understand that English is not just a language, it's a tool for global collaboration, even for mental release, because you can communicate your emotional needs everywhere you go. And this is important because, as Aristotle said, educating the mind without educating the heart and without relief of the trauma of the heart and mind, we cannot talk about education. So let's enjoy the Ulysses journey from Dyslexia to Ithaca.
Aggeliki, we can hear you.
Everything that we are waiting for is inside of us. Gracias desde el fondo de mi corazón. Thank you very much for your attention, your kind attention. I wish you all the very best in your journey to find mental health for our soul, for our children, and for humanity. Thank you.
As teachers, I am glad I didn't spend time introducing you. Your work speaks by itself. You put your heart in what you do. It's amazing.
Thank you so very much.
Very much.
I'm very humbled for your words. I really appreciate. I'm trying to stop sharing. Okay, here you go. Thank you so very much for your kind words. I really appreciate the opportunity to share my journey with you and with all the colleagues globally. And now we're together, juntos. We can empower mental health, we can empower our children, and we can heal humanity through pedagogy for love, for higher love. And here from Athens, Greece, I am deeply humbled and honored for giving me the opportunity to share.
It's an honor having you as a speaker. Thank you very much. Any questions or comments? ¿Alguna pregunta? ¿Algún comentario?
Me.
Tú.
I am really touched. Hello, my name is Annabella Peter, and I am really touched. I am a pedagogist, and I work in logotherapy, and I created a model. The name is Pedagogic, Transcendental Pedagogics, and when you say love pedagogic, it touched me really much, and I will be in contact with you because you are a brilliant, amazing, and shining soul. Thank you.
Thank you. It's my honor. It's my honor. It's my honor. I just hear to my ancestors in my heart. Aristotle said, educating the mind without the heart is no education. Higher love. This is what we should present in our classrooms. The morality, the ethics, the ethos. And thank you very much for connecting with me. It's my greatest honor and joy in my life.
Thank you. Thank you very, very much. Put your heart in what you do. And that's how we can say mission accomplished. When we complete the time that we have here in this lifetime. Tenemos una profesora que es la profesora ilustre del 2011 de Colombia. Yo le estaba interpretando y llegó un momento en que ella me dijo, qué bueno fuera que nos ayudara también con nuestros proyectos de las comunidades indígenas. No sé, Rosa, si quieres decir algo.
Sí, hola. Pues para mí es un honor haber escuchado acá su ponencia.
Es un honor.
Muy interesante. No soy profesora y a veces los maestros hacemos el trabajo con los niños, pero en vez de ayudar en sus procesos, señalamos que este niño es lento para la lectura, que este niño no sabe. Como maestros hacemos mucho daño al proceso de los niños. Así que me gustaría, tú como maestra que ha ganado tantos premios, de pronto la posibilidad de dar una conferencia virtual a un grupo de maestros indígenas.
We are from an indigenous community in the south of Colombia.
Para que podamos apoyar en estos temas de proceso de lectura a nuestros niños,
our young children, our indigenous children. Thank you. Thank you very much. Thank you again. You have been invited to Colombia.
Thank you. You have my contacts, so please contact me anytime. Global collaborations are very important to empower each other.
Para apoyarnos. Muchísimas gracias.
Muchísimas gracias.
Last but not least, nuestra colega y amiga, nuestra mano derecha en el Congreso de Roma, Ana Antón. Ella es psicóloga egresada de esta gran universidad, la UNAM. Es mexicana que vive en París, Francia, desde hace ya 10 años y trabaja como en consultorio privado, atendiendo a pacientes latinos, franceses, y igual me quedo corta en lo que Ana va a contribuirnos en este momento. Gracias, Ana, bienvenida.
Gracias, Ana Lucia. Pues bueno, ¿qué les puedo decir? ¿Cómo me puedo presentar después de estas presentaciones magistrales de nuestras colegas en Estados Unidos y desde Grecia? Pues bueno, es parte de esta maravilla que se logra a través de la red Atenea, donde realmente conocemos todos los trabajos que hacemos desde nuestras trincheras. A veces nos sentimos aisladas, a veces sentimos que no hacemos suficiente, o que nuestro trabajo no es reconocido. Y justo estos puntos de encuentro a cada año nos demuestran que pasito a pasito todas contribuimos y tenemos una gran lucha y hay mucho todavía para dar y para seguir contribuyendo. Estoy realmente feliz de poder presentarme hoy aquí, de presentarles mi trabajo y hablarles un poquito de lo que realizo. Pues ya no sé si hablar en Spanglish o en Frañol o en alguna lengua, porque de verdad esto sí es internacional. Bueno, les presento un poquito mi trabajo. Generalmente yo comencé a trabajar con hispanohablantes. De base eran muchísimos mexicanos. Hay cerca de una comunidad entre 12 y 15,000 mexicanos en Francia, distribuidos en toda Francia. Más del 50% de esta población es de mujeres. Ahorita van a darse cuenta cómo la pequeña investigación que hice, pues nos va a arrojar muchos más datos en cuanto a las mujeres que a los hombres. No es que sean únicamente estos datos que les voy a mostrar, sino que de una base de datos que tengo de más de 100 aplicaciones hechas sobre el test de distorsiones, de principales distorsiones cognitivas de Morse, pues bueno, solo seleccioné los que estaban más completos. De estos 37 fueron de mujeres, 30 fueron de mujeres y 7 de hombres. La siguiente, por favor. Bueno, pues ¿qué son primero las distorsiones cognitivas? No sé si las conozcan, si los que nos están viendo en YouTube tienen idea de lo que son. Pues son básicamente como si nos pusiéramos lentes de diferentes graduaciones y de diferentes colores que no nos permiten ver la realidad tal y como es. Y estas distorsiones vienen o se instalan a partir mucho de este condicionamiento cultural, social y de experiencias personales. Algo que me llamó mucho la atención y que me gustaría recalcar es la parte de que no es el acontecimiento en sí, es la forma en que nuestro cerebro va a interpretar ese acontecimiento y eso es lo que va a disparar la emoción, la conducta para intentar llegar y cumplir un objetivo, que si está dado por una distorsión, evidentemente ese camino y esa función no se va a cumplir. ¿Qué tiene que ver con el duelo migratorio? Pues una de las partes, ¿no? En la característica número 7, los mecanismos de defensa se activan. Si bien se activan como mecanismo de defensa, pero estando en un entorno completamente diferente, ese mecanismo de defensa no va a funcionar. Y lo que va a provocar es más ansiedad, más depresión, más sensación de esta disociación que tiene que ver también con la personalidad. Todos esos cambios que se van dando en la personalidad del migrante. Me enfoqué únicamente en mexicanos, aunque tengo muchos archivos también ya de latinos, pero creo que hubiera sido mucho más amplio y necesitaría otra exposición para poner un poco más en forma todos los archivos, porque también lo empiezo a aplicar a franceses y pues bueno, hay grandes sorpresas cuando se hace estas comparaciones entre las comunidades, ¿no? ¿Qué instrumento utilicé? El cuestionario de distorsiones de la percepción de la realidad más comunes, basado en la versión de Deborah. La siguiente, por favor. ¿Cómo lo hice? Generalmente los pacientes llegan conmigo, como con varias de ustedes, las que tratan con clientes, con pacientes, pues con un motivo de consulta o con un motivo especial. Sin embargo, cuando llegan ahí y empezamos a trabajar, pues va saliendo todo lo que viene atrás. La cuestión cultural, la cuestión familiar, y empezamos a relacionar cada uno de estos aspectos con la parte migratoria. Les explico un poco de qué se trata, los escucho, aplico también un pequeño cuestionario de pensamientos automáticos para comenzar a sensibilizar sobre todo a los pacientes. Porque como son estos automatismos que ya los damos por hecho y creemos que somos nosotros, pues los pacientes llegan sintiéndose que están locos, que ya no son ellos, que ya no saben quiénes son, que no se reconocen, que ya no se sienten ni de aquí ni de allá, que ya no los aceptan ni aquí ni allá, y empieza toda esta confusión. Cuando ellos tratan de reaccionar en base a todo lo que aprendieron en su lugar de origen y lo intentan aplicar en el nuevo país o en el país de acogida, pues obviamente intentan aplicar estos mecanismos de defensa en base a lo que aprendieron en su país de origen. Pero no es funcional, porque las reglas culturales son totalmente distintas. Muchas veces son hasta contrarias a lo que aprendieron en su país. Entonces, este choque de tener que cambiar, de tener que aceptar algo que originalmente dentro de sus aprendizajes es inaceptable. Entonces llega un momento en que tengan que aceptarlo o decir, ok, tengo que relajarme en esto, les cuesta muchísimo trabajo. Se hace una aplicación presencial o en línea, trabajo de las dos maneras, donde los acompaño a que contesten en una hoja de Excel la primera aplicación. Y esto tienen que realizarlo durante 15 días consecutivos. ¿Para qué? Para que al final de esas 2 semanas tengamos una línea base que nos indique cuáles son las principales distorsiones con las que trabaja su cerebro. Y a partir de ahí, comenzar entonces a explicarles cuáles son esos automatismos que sin darse cuenta los están poniendo en esta montaña de emociones. ¿Cómo lo hice? Pues bueno, saqué unos datos generales, obtuve la media de las respuestas de esas hojas de cálculo que ellos contestaron, hice una comparación entre hombres y mujeres, fueron 37 archivos en total, 30 mujeres y 7 hombres. La que sigue. Su rango de edad, entre 25 a 30, teníamos 6 mujeres en etapa productiva, no solo económicamente, sino también sexualmente activas, pues aquí está la mayoría. Recordemos que hace un momento les dije también que la población migrante de México a Francia es más del 50% de mujeres. Por eso es que también es el número más importante. No es lo mismo que en los hombres. Aunque hay más acceso, los hombres también asisten a consulta, pero ahorita vamos a ver con las medias cómo es que hay una diferencia increíble de las distorsiones. Pero sí quise remarcar esto, ¿no? La edad de las mujeres, solo había una mujer de más de 46, que pues bueno, llegó a Francia, pero también hay otro punto importante a marcar. Hay veces son migrantes de múltiples migraciones, es decir, han vivido ya en diferentes países por lo menos 3 o 4, algunas de ellas. Del resto de la consulta, de los más de 100 archivos, también, solo que ellas no terminaron los 15 días, por eso fue que quité esos archivos, pero también es interesante ver sus respuestas. Los hombres, pues bueno, ellos viajan más jóvenes, generalmente, ellas se tardan un poquito más, y ellos llegan más temprano, pero también se mantienen en una etapa activa y productiva. La que sigue, por favor. La mayoría de ellas llegan solteras, pero o se casan o viven en unión libre. a veces con permiso de la familia, a veces sin permiso de la familia, o lo hacen escondidas por las cuestiones del país de origen. Los hombres, ellos van más tranquilos, aparentemente, ¿no? Sean casados, sean solteros, o también porque llegan en familia. Hay una diferencia entre matrimonio y casados, porque una cosa es que viajan o migran en familia, es decir, mujer mexicana, es hombre mexicano, hijos mexicanos. Y la otra es las que viajan solteras o ellos viajan solteros y se casan, ya sea con un francés o bien con otra pareja de otra nacionalidad, pero viven en Francia. Que también es otro contexto que hay que tener especial cuidado para poder trabajar con cada una de estas diferentes parejas. Biculturales, sí, pero de universos totalmente distintos. ¿A que sí? Los motivos de movilidad. Aquí es donde añadí la parte de familia. Viajan toda la familia junta del país de origen, pero para instalarse allá es otro tipo de dinámica familiar y de problemáticas. Las familias biculturales, las mexicanas casadas con franceses o casadas con otro europeo o de otra nacionalidad. Por eso hice la diferencia. La que sigue, por favor. Bueno, rápidamente para no atorarnos aquí, y me va a dar tortícolis y quedo ahí. Ok, son las 10 principales distorsiones o las distorsiones más comunes que se trabajan. Este es el cuestionario que utilicé. Cuando hago la intervención la primera vez, pues bueno, vamos haciendo una por una y en una hoja de Excel vamos poniendo la respuesta. Es decir, todos los días le pido a la persona que se responde y que se cuestione. Hoy, ¿en cómo calificaría esta distorsión? Pensamiento de todo o nada, o dicotómico, la generalización excesiva, el filtro mental, la descalificación de lo positivo. Yo creo que como todos trabajamos aquí o tenemos relación con los migrantes, sabemos y hemos escuchado estas frases de ¿y qué hago aquí? Es que si no lo logro, nada vale la pena. Es que todo, las palabras, siempre, nunca, jamás. Uno también va escuchando y va aprendiendo a ubicar el pensamiento del paciente en la distorsión correspondiente. ¿Se acuerdan de estos exámenes de relación en las columnas? Pues bueno, parece que mi cerebro hace eso, ¿no? Cuando estoy escuchando a los pacientes. Sin embargo, yo no intervengo. Lo puedo distinguir, pero dejo al paciente que vaya descubriendo, porque es su proceso, no es él. Hay que aprender a respetar sus procesos, acompañarlo, que es nuestro trabajo. No facilitarle las cosas, sino realmente acompañarlo. El filtro mental y la descalificación de lo positivo. Cuando nosotros vemos el potencial del paciente, el potencial de la persona, y que de pronto él no lo puede ver. Yo no sé si a ustedes les pasa, pero a mí me entró una desesperación de decir, ¿cómo le ayudo? ¿Cómo le muestro lo que él va a donarle, lo que él viene a darle a este país? Y que no llegue con esta actitud de yo, el pobre migrante, sino que se muestre como es. Cuesta trabajo, sí, pero también es esta parte de empoderar a los migrantes. ¿A que sí? No se deja. Okay. La conclusión precipitada. Aquí en México, no sé si en los otros países de Latinoamérica, han escuchado esta frase típica, refrán típico de, ay, piensa mal y acertarás. ¿No? Esa frase es, bueno, originaria de México, pues yo la he escuchado aquí, ¿no? Y yo la escucho o la escuchaba de figuras de autoridad. Abuelas, bisabuelas, madres, tías, mujeres en general. Si esas figuras de autoridad van condicionando nuestra educación, y además tiene este componente afectivo, imagínense estando en el exterior, es fuertísimo el ten cuidado, piensa mal, cuídate. Si de por sí hay una vulnerabilidad, siendo migrante, siendo mujer, no pudiendo defenderte, no hablando el idioma, pues mucho más con este tipo de pensamiento tan pesado. La visión catastrófica, magnificación, minimización. Es extremista también, todo o nada, blanco o negro. Ninguna de estas distorsiones viene sola. Son bien solidarias. Siempre vienen una de la mano de la otra. A veces unas descansan y otras se exacerban. El razonamiento emocional. Todo lo que la emoción negativa le dice es real, punto. No hay duda. Y la persona no puede separarse, no tiene la habilidad de cuestionar realmente su propio pensamiento. ¿La que sí? Los deberías, que creo que desde mi punto de vista es el que realmente causa muchísimos problemas. Y ahorita lo van a ver en las gráficas. La etiquetación. Ay, es que no lo logré. No es que sea mala, si tenemos el todo o nada. No es que sea mala. Es que soy la peor de todas. O es que no fue un error el que cometí. No, de aquí es no, jamás lo voy a lograr. Jamás saldré de esta situación. Siempre me va a pasar lo mismo, etcétera, etcétera. Y la personalización. Todo lo bueno o malo que le pase a las otras personas es mi culpa. Y ahí va el migrante con todos los costales de culpa encima, ¿no? La que sigue, por favor. Bueno, aquí están los resultados. Esta es la media en las mujeres. Si se dan cuenta, si la calificación es entre 0 y 100, la calificación, el 917.9%. Es decir, esos deberías, donde hay culpa, donde hay ira, donde hay resentimiento, donde hay muy poca tolerancia a la frustración, son altísimos. Los niveles de ansiedad, de depresión, de angustia, de todas estas sintomatologías psicosomáticas que podemos observar, pues están en el tope. Y si se dan cuenta, hay el todo o nada, está más de 700, el filtro mental, más de 700, el pensar mal, piensa mal y acertarás, mijita. Ahí está también metido, y aparte el razonamiento emocional. Si todo lo que estoy sintiendo es negativo, es real. Lo bueno, ni lo miro, eso no existe. Solo su cerebro o nuestro cerebro solo se fija en la parte negativa. Entonces, ¿cómo sacar al paciente para que pueda ampliar su visión? Que pueda conocer y sensibilizarse ante sus propios funcionamientos cognitivos. No se trata solo de enseñarle y hacer el cuestionario, sino también es una forma de mostrarle y de hacerle descubrir su propio razonamiento a partir de una estructura corporal, que es su cerebro, y que viene condicionado a lo largo de su vida por todos los aprendizajes. Pero ¿cómo hacerlo que se vuelva consciente de él mismo y de cómo funciona su cerebro? Entregarle este poder de transformar su propio pensamiento. La que sigue. Y los hombres, pues más tranquilones aparentemente, ¿no? Aparentemente. Lo que pasa es que, a mi punto de vista y lo que yo veo con ellos, es que a ellos les cuesta más trabajo expresar emocionalmente, conectar. Las mujeres es todo lo explosivo, en el límite, y los hombres es más apretaditos. Aguanta, porque somos bien machos, ¿no? Y eso fue toda Latinoamérica. Bueno, de aquel lado también hay bastante machismo. La que sigue, por favor. Bueno, son las mismas imágenes, nada más que las puse de un lado al otro para que pudieran observar cómo es lo que les digo. Las mujeres están del lado al tope, y ellos están más constreñidos, diríamos, emocionalmente, pero no significa que estén bien. Hay mucha ansiedad, hay mucha angustia, la incertidumbre al futuro, el no lograr las metas, la parte de maternar o paternar en pareja o solos, en soledad, porque no está la red de apoyo, no están los padres, no están los abuelos, no están los tíos, no están los primos. Es vivir solos. Porque aunque haya la pareja o la familia de la pareja extranjera, pero pues no son las mismas costumbres. Y se tienen que pelear con la familia política para que acepten su cultura, la biculturalidad de la nueva familia. Se angustian. Los deberías, es que debería de defenderme, es que debería, pero es que ¿cómo le digo a mis suegros que no me gusta lo que le están enseñando a mi niño? Porque pues, son los suegros, son los abuelitos de mi hijo o de mi hija, y pues yo estoy aquí sola. ¿Cómo le voy a decir a estas figuras de autoridad que no pasen los límites? Es enseñarles también a ellos y a ellas que sí pueden decirle a sus suegros hasta aquí. La que sigue, por favor. Bueno, mujeres, se los puse así, un poquito más explicado, un poquito más con la descripción de cada una de las principales distorsiones que aparecen en las mujeres, que son estos deberías que les digo. Son imperativos, no hay libertad, se tiene o se tiene, punto. El verbo debo, tengo, no debo, no tengo, punto. Cuando lo dirigen hacia ellas mismas o hacia ellos mismos, mucha culpa. Y no me dejan mentir. ¿Cuánta culpa pueden ver ustedes en los migrantes? Es altísima. Ahí sí, es muy fuerte y está generando culpa, pero también genera ira y resentimiento. Y la poca tolerancia a la frustración. Y la frustración produce agresión. Agresión contra ellas mismas, agresión contra los otros, o finalmente contra la vida en general, cualquier situación. Pero combínala con el todo o nada, como les digo. Es que si no me sale bien esto, entonces jamás lo lograré. Todo me va a salir siempre mal. El filtro mental. Un solo detalle negativo. Híjole, no. Se me cayó el bebé. Jamás seré una buena madre. Pónganlo en los hombres. Si ustedes tienen ejemplos por ahí de los que les ha tocado vivir, es hora de dejarlos sacar y que los puedan ubicar también. La conclusión precipitada. Hijita, piensa mal y acertarás. Y de ahí no la sacan. Y viven con una angustia porque siempre lo que están pensando es que algo malo va a pasar, algo malo les van a hacer. Todo les va a salir mal. Pues ya ¿para qué lo hacen? O lo hacen sin ninguna motivación, sin ninguna esperanza. Cada vez van perdiendo menos esperanza. La anticipación, bueno, en la conclusión precipitada hay inciso A y B. ¿Me podrías regresar la? Gracias. Si se dan cuenta, en la conclusión precipitada, la de pensar mal está más alta en las mujeres. Y aparentemente aquí con ellos no hay este despunte como con ellas, pero sin embargo también hay una relación entre varias de ellas. Generalmente en la segunda de los hombres, la otra, no, más abajo, abajo. Es casi la penúltima. Arriba. Gracias. Con ellos, si se dan cuenta, también existe la conclusión precipitada, pero ellos se van a la anticipación negativa, mientras que las mujeres se van a la lectura del pensamiento. La mujer es, siempre piensa mal y acertarás. El hombre es, ya va a pasar. Lo malo de la conclusión precipitada es que las personas comienzan a actuar y hacer las cosas como si ya estuviera pasando. Su pensamiento es que como eso malo va a pasar, de una vez empiezo a actuar porque ya sé que va a pasar. Pero no están viviendo el presente, están viviendo ese futuro que no existe. Hay que mostrarles que tienen que esperar. Es difícil, sí. Se utiliza la respiración, la relajación. Se les enseña a que sepan la diferencia entre estar estresado y el cuerpo. Es también un trabajo de hacerlos conectar entre su cerebro y su cuerpo. Cuando yo les pregunto, oye, y dime, ¿cómo puedes tú explicarme a mí cuando te empiezas a sentir incómodo? ¿Incómodo? Pues, es que no sé. A ver, una paciente alguna vez me dijo que era como si le pusieran arenita en el zapato y que eso le daba incomodidad. Otra paciente me dijo, pues es como si tuviera lombrices aquí abajo. ¿No? Como son cuestiones objetivas, hay que enseñarle al paciente cómo puede detectar él su propia sensación de incomodidad. Y a partir, ¿por qué de incomodidad y por qué en ese nivel? Porque las emociones tienen que ver también con una intensidad. Si no les enseñamos cómo comienzan las emociones bajitas de baja intensidad, para que conecten y puedan en ese momento hacer la intervención de detener el pensamiento, modificarlo y modificar la conducta. Con eso van a tener una forma más asertiva de actuar. La que sigue, por favor. Yo sí me eché mis 30 minutitos. Ok, bueno. Hay pensamientos que van a provocar esa ansiedad. La forma en que yo trabajo tiene que ver más con la terapia cognitivo-conductual y racional emotiva. De alguna manera también la llaman integrativa, porque también utilizo las cuestiones de inteligencia emocional. Les comparto archivos a los pacientes, trabajamos con las láminas de Plutchik, llevan un diario de pensamientos, donde en la primera semana de aplicación se dedican a escribir 1 minuto al día todo lo que puedan registrar. Se les pide que no se cuestionen nada, simplemente que lo que lleguen a escuchar en ese diálogo interno que todos tenemos, que lo escriban. Y a partir de ahí, la segunda semana, empezamos a hacer este cruzamiento de información entre las distorsiones y lo que ellos han escrito de sus propios pensamientos. Bueno, como les digo, se les enseña a a detectar esos pensamientos automáticos, a ponerlos en una plaza dentro de las distorsiones. Y bueno, ellos van siendo mucho más conscientes de ellos mismos y van haciendo esta disociación de los pensamientos automáticos, de las distorsiones, y es como si empezaran ellos a tener como despertar de su propia conciencia. Es muy interesante cuando ellos mismos lo platican de esa manera. Bueno, lo que espero, en lo que pase este año, para vernos el próximo año, no sé dónde, en Chile me parece, o en Japón, no me acuerdo dónde va a ser, no está preparado. Pues bueno, incluir ya de manera más efectiva escalas de ansiedad, escalas de depresión, y también comenzar a utilizar lo que son las premisas culturales, no sé si las han escuchado, que son originarias, bueno, que las empieza a proponer el doctor Díaz Guerrero de la Facultad de Psicología, desde hace muchísimos años que están por ahí trabajando, pero sí es conveniente empezar a utilizarlas para saber bien sobre las cuestiones de machismo, de virginidad, de rigidez cultural, de autoafirmación y de obediencia afiliativa. Entonces es tener un poco más de información para mostrarle al paciente de dónde vienen este tipo de pensamientos, porque no nacieron con ellos. Fueron ahí implantados por esta cuestión cultural y educativo. Y pues bueno, evaluar el estrés y el duelo migratorio a través del test de Aggeliki.
Gracias, como cada año, tus contribuciones. Exacto, faltaron 2 segundos. Muchísimas gracias por haber atendido esta sesión de la tarde. Y ya creo que es el momento de descanso, ¿verdad? En un segundo, para continuar con la siguiente sesión. Muchísimas gracias, que estén muy bien.
Felicidades, qué bueno. I'm really touched with all the conference. I am very lucky that I was here. Oigan, I think that on Saturday it's going to be a touristic thing about the balloon and Teotihuacan, and we had a great prize because only the balloon is like 200, like 100 and